So an update on my Dogecoin position. Right now the position is worth $3,940. Well, it's down $3,940 and I own 45,544 worth of Dogecoin currently. So the account value is sitting at $9,036 with 29 cents. Basically looking at Dogecoin, pretty much, let's look at it on the daily chart first. So on the daily chart, Dogecoin was doing pretty good, but all of a sudden it is now below the 50-day moving average. On the 30-minute time chart, it looks like it's above. It's using the 50-day moving average as support. On the 4-hour time chart, it looks like it's having trouble breaking the 9-day moving average. It's gotten rejected 3 times already, so it's not looking so good for Dogecoin. Currently Dogecoin is in a I would say it's in a downtrend now that it's below the 180/200-day moving average, because at one point, when was it? April 22nd, and we're in May, right? So April 22nd, we finally managed to break above the 180 and 200-day moving average, and then ever since it's just been in an uptrend. But now it looks like Doge could return back to its normal state of being in a bearish trend, because if you look at the 50, 20, and 9-day moving average, they're about to cross below the 180 and 200-day moving average. And usually when the moving averages look like that, or about to cross below the 180 and 200-day moving average, that usually indicates that that particular stock, or in this case crypto, could enter into a bearish trend. So do I expect for Doge to see further downtrend? Definitely. The reason I say that is because now it is below the 180 and 200-day moving average. So looking at Bitcoin, so Bitcoin on the daily chart, it is below the 20-day moving average. On the 30-minute time chart, I feel like Bitcoin could go into a bearish trend if the 9-day moving average crosses below the 20-day moving average. So, but then again, I feel like it's in a bearish trend right now, but I feel like well, let's see on the 4-hour time chart. So on the 4-hour time chart, it looks like Bitcoin managed to break above the 9-day moving average, and it managed to use the 180-day moving average as support. So we saw a bounce off the 180, and so the next step would be that Bitcoin would need to break above the 20-day moving average so we can see further uptrend and we can see a reversal towards the upside. But the overall long-term trend of Bitcoin I currently see is that we can still see further upside from Bitcoin. The reason I say that is because we have not yet crossed below the 180 and 200-day moving averages. If that does occur, then we could see Bitcoin go down even further. And then I kind of want to go over. Okay, so there's been 2 things that have been happening in my mind recently, and basically what I kind of want to show you guys is that you don't necessarily have to trade options to I guess like make huge amounts of money. Like let's say you're let's say you're a person that's like not feeling really confident in trading options, so you're more so like you feel more comfortable trading stocks. So basically what I want to do next week sort of is that I want to try to trade leveraged ETFs. And basically I want to show you guys that if you guys don't feel comfortable trading options, you always have the case of trading leveraged ETFs. Now, the way I see it is that ETFs, leveraged ETFs, in my opinion, are 100 times better to trade instead of trading options in the beginning. The reason I say that is because, of course, the expense ratio of leveraged ETFs are quite expensive over time. I think the expense ratio is calculated, if I'm not mistaken, every month or every year. I'm not sure, but I'd have to look that up and report to you guys tomorrow. But basically what I've been discovering is that I feel like a lot of people could start trading leveraged ETFs, and most of the time these leveraged ETFs make huge moves. For example, look at this ticker symbol. Let's go over it. So at one point, SOXL was all the way worth like $7, and then it managed to go up all the way to like $19. This Ethereum ETF, right? At one point it was worth $3. Now it's worth like $8 now. This other Ethereum ETF worth $22. Now it's worth $71 or $62. And basically this Bitcoin ETF, at one point it was 27 and now it's at 50. And same with this one. And then look at this like other ETF called TECL. At one point it was all the way in the 30 range and now it's in the 70 range. Another Bitcoin ETF it was in the 42 range, now it's in the 50 range. TQQQ, it was at one point in the 30-40 range, now it's in the 60-70 range. And then QQQ at one point was at the it was at the 400 range, now it's in the 500 range. So I feel like what most people could do is, if you guys don't feel comfortable trading options, I feel like you could also trade leveraged ETFs. That's also another thing that you could look into, but also keep in mind that these leveraged ETFs, the longer you hold them, I think the basically you'll get taxed. Not taxed, but basically they have an expense ratio. Basically, after you sell your position, they're gonna tax their expense of using these leveraged ETFs. So I'll have to report back tomorrow to see if these ETFs charge monthly or yearly, those expense ratios. I'll have to report back, but that's pretty much it. This is not financial advice. I'll report to you guys back tomorrow, hopefully, and that's pretty much it. As always, take care and bye.